Edinburgh Castle, constructed 900 years ago as a military fortress, sits atop the volcanic Castle Rock. It is also, legend says, one of the most haunted places in Scotland. Throughout the castle's long history, it has seen attacks, executions, and murders, which have led to no shortage of ghost tales. Visitors to the castle have claimed to witness apparitions including Lady Janet Douglas of Glamis, who was burned at the stake for witchcraft, and Duke Alexander Stewart of Albany, who stabbed his guards to death and then burned their bodies. There are also unnamed apparitions that supposedly make appearances on the castle grounds, like the Phantom Piper who got lost in the castle's underground passages, a headless drummer, French prisoners, colonial prisoners from the American Revolutionary War, and even ghost dogs in the dog cemetery. In 2001, a massive paranormal investigation took place on the property, in which a team of researchers, along with 200 members of the public, investigated the hidden chambers and passageways in the castle for evidence of ghosts. During the experiment, more than half the participants reported paranormal activity, including seeing shadowed figures, feeling tugging sensations on their clothes, and noticed a sudden drop in temperature. All evidence cited by those who believe that this is one of the world's most haunted places. Beneath Edinburgh's old city, there's a collection of underground passageways that used to be home to the very poorest people, as well as vagrants, thieves, and other undesirables. With very little ventilation, these dark, dank tunnels were very unpleasant. You can still visit parts of the underground labyrinth at the base of the Royal Mile. Fans of ghost stories will enjoy visiting Abandoned Annie, the ghost of a little girl who is said to reach out and grab your hand in the darkness. There is now a makeshift altar to Little Annie, with thousands of dolls, toys, and even money left for her by visitors. Of all the Edinburgh ghosts, the Niddrie Street Vaults is by far the most popular, and the amount of paranormal activity reported herein almost unheard of. The vaults were first opened during the 18th century, when Edinburgh was in a period of unprecedented growth. The vaults were initially intended to house taverns and cobblers and other above board, but ironically underground, businesses. However, things began to go awry around 1795 when flooding led to a mass exodus and the Niddrie Street vaults fell into a state of abandonment. Eventually, the vaults became home to some less than legal practices, including a number of brothels. Many of the city's poor were forced to take up residence in the vaults, and it has been reported that notorious serial killers Burke and Hare would visit one part of the vaults to find their victims and use another part of the vaults to store their bodies. Though this claim is unsubstantiated, the level of paranormal activity which occurs here on a daily basis would suggest that there have indeed been some evil dealings beneath Edinburgh over the past couple of centuries. Much poltergeist activity has been reported in the vaults, particularly in one room, which is today in a state of perpetual darkness, as any light bulb installed in the past would instantly explode. An investigation of the wiring turned up no logical explanation for the repeated rejection of light. and the general consensus among the paranormal community is that it was caused by the same spirit, which has been known to push and pull anybody who dares to venture into its part of the vault. King James VI was so concerned about witchcraft, he created a frenzy throughout Edinburgh in the 17th century. Old women suffering from mental illness, and even females with knowledge of science, were labelled as witches and senselessly murdered. Many of these women, reports claims between 300 and 500, were dragged to a marketplace on the Royal Mile and burned alive. The terrible period in British history thankfully stopped hundreds of years ago, but you can still visit the spot that was regularly used to end these poor women's lives. If you liked that video, please leave a like and a comment down below, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell to be notified when we upload new content, and we'll see you in the next one.